Then now we told we are evolved. So e-invoice is made mandatory. Earlier we started with 500 crores and above. Now from August 2023, even for the turnover of 5 crores, e-invoice is a mandatory. What is the requirement? If your turnover for any preceding financial year from 2017 onwards, if the turnover is more than the threshold turnover of 5 crores, in that particular year you are liable to, the next year you are liable to make e-invoice mandatorily. If my turnover is 5 crore this month, am I going to be, last year I have not started my business, my turnover was less than 4 crores, this year it is 5 crores. When I am going to use the e-invoice, I have to make e-invoice compulsorily from next financial year. So legal provisions, section 31, rule 48.4, rule 48.5. So here it is, in the road check, if you are a class of person and you are not raised any e-invoice, then your legal vehicle is liable to be detained along with the consignment. So that is very much important for the class of buyers. What is the basic document for the moment? It is nothing but your e-invoice and your e-waybill based on the limitation. But in the e-invoice, even if it is a 1 rupee to B2B supply, you have to raise an invoice, e-invoice. But in the case of e-waybill, it depends upon intrastate or interstate. It is a 50,000 interstate. It is a 1 lakh intrastate. It depends upon the state to state also. So, however, e-invoice has to be issued even for the 10 rupees, 20 rupees, definitely not based on the e-waybill thresholds. Certain persons are exempted. These people are not required to file. Insurance company, GTA, passenger transportations are the important person where there is a number of invoices generated per day or per month is a huge. That's why they have not implemented for e-invoicing and also SEZ units. So transaction, which are the transaction I have to generate e-invoice? Supply of registered person, B2B. If another person is a getter registered, many times we also find the person is registered for some other person and you want to receive the goods, maybe for personal consumption or maybe for some other purpose. But when you check the GST number, we find that person is a B2B transaction. That is a holder of B2B. It says a registered person. Please understand, it does not mean a B2B transaction. It is a registered person. So for any registered person, if he is registered, then definitely your requirement for e-invoice is a mandatory. Then second, export of goods and service with or without payment. Supply to user definitely required. Deemed export, you know very well, on account of the EPGC scheme, or supply to EOU, or supply to the advance authorization. All these things definitely e-invoices exempted only B2C. And now the supplies to government also comes under the e-invoice. So the government contractor, if you are sending goods to any government organization which is required to file TDS for on account of your purchases, definitely you are expected to issue e-invoice. So please note, you cannot under whims and fancies cancel or amend e-invoice. So e-invoice, if you have done, it has to be done within 24 hours. So please make sure the invoice is made. Definitely it is required. Otherwise, don't enter any data and later find it is very difficult to cancel. If you know thoroughly, yes, today I am requiring the invoices, there is a dispatch is that I am going to prepare, please prepare. Otherwise, no sir, vehicle is ready, it may be coming or may not be coming. So don't have any ifs and buts. If you have any ifs and buts for the movement of your requirements, then please don't raise any e-invoice. Then it is very difficult for you to cancel and or amend. So there it is a difficulty is there, practical difficulty. Kindly consider, inform your other employees also what is the method for the e-invoice. I am not panicking, making you to panicking, but it is a real issue which is faced by the industry today. So e-invoice is now made mandatory for the movement of goods, made mandatory to avail your definitely input tax credit. So these are the very much basic requirements for the e-invoice. Consequence of non-compliance of the invoicing. If it is says, then definitely you are penalized, which means I told earlier, there is a possibility that goods are detained. Then input tax credit also you may not be possible for the other person. And there is a penal consequence of section 125 also 485, which mandates either 10,000 rupees or 100% of the tax due, whichever is higher. So here one should understand the consequence of non-compliance of e-invoicing also.